Well, welcome viewers. I'm on the run down at Gosford, walking along. But I need to talk about Spain. Spain as a test case for politics and mass migration. Voting now, viewers, is useless. There's no point in voting for the politicians because they don't listen. They got no intention of listening to what you need or are asking for. Spain is becoming a critical European case study in how sustained large-scale migration intersects with border control, electoral incentives, national identity, and state capacity. The central political conflict is no longer simply about how many migrants enter the country, but about whether migration policy is primarily being shaped by humanitarian obligations. But this isn't humanitarian, what's happening in Spain. This is an invasion. There's no economical necessity. There's no electoral strategy. There's no national cohesion with what's happening. Number one, 5 supporting pillars. Border credibility versus migration incentives. Martínez, the guy running Spain, argues that weak border enforcement creates a pull factor. Martínez is not the one running Spain. It's a woman who has commentated on the situation. But what it's doing is creating a pull factor, encouraging further irregular migration and placing sustained pressure on Spain's external frontiers, particularly Ceuta, Melilla, and the Canary Islands. She presents border control as a prerequisite for maintaining state sovereignty. Her position reflects that of Spain's Vox party rather than a consensus across Spain politics. Number 2, immigration is an electoral resource, and this is what they're doing with it now across the Western world. They're using it as an electoral resource. The central allegation is that proposed regularizations and expanded legal pathways are intended not only as immigration policy, but also as long-term electoral strategy by creating future voters supportive of the governing coalition. That's exactly what they're doing. It's called mass vote harvesting. And this is a contested political claim made by opponents of Sanchez's government rather than an established fact. Well, it is an established fact because we're viewing it with our own 2 eyes. Spain's government argues regularisation is designed to address labour shortages, bring undocumented workers into the formal economy, and improve tax compliance. But they're just cover-ups. It's a mass vote harvesting agenda. And rather than framing the issue primarily in radical terms, I argue that migration becomes destabilising when newcomers do not assimilate into Spain's constitutional norms and civic culture, and they're not, because the 60,000 plus border invasion was Muslim She identifies cultural integration as a central question. And this reflects an ongoing debate within Spain over integration, identity and social cohesion. State capacity, number 4, state capacity under population growth. The interview here, my talk, argues that rapid population growth can outpace housing, healthcare, education, policing and infrastructure if planning does not keep pace. And this is what we're seeing in my country, Australia. Questions about the capacity of public service have become a recurring feature of not only Spain but Australian immigration debate across multiple political perspectives. Although different parties propose different solutions, it always ends up the same: mass migration. Spain as Europe's policy laboratory. Now this is what you've got to realise, viewers. The politicians are just using these countries as a laboratory. No different to Wuhan, where the COVID-19 vaccine has apparently escaped. I don't believe it. I don't know what actually happened there. There's no point in voting. The only point in voting is if you have a mass group that can get in a legitimate government. Oh, God help us when Donald Trump's government goes, you'll go, Donald Trump, yeah. At least Donald Trump brought back some sanity to the Western world. You say, oh, he's bombing Iran. Well, that was before Iran sent out a nuclear weapon, wasn't it? Oh, that can't be true. Oh, Spain has taken a markedly different approach from many European countries. By expanding regularisation pathways while maintaining border cooperation with Morocco. But Morocco's abused that. Supporters argue shortages, critics argue it risks encouraging further irregular migration and intensifying political polarisation. The success or failure of this model is likely to influence immigration debates across Europe. Viewers, Spain illustrates how migration policy has evolved beyond border management into broader contests over sovereignty, demographic legitimacy, cultural integration, and long-term direction of the nation. It's the central dispute is whether large-scale migration can be sustainably integrated while maintaining public confidence in borders, institutions, and national cohesion, which it's not, or whether current policies will generate increasing political and social strain. If we had that many people hit an Australian border, I think there'd be all-out war. Catch you on the next one.